tonight after prosecutors accused him.
Well wishers, all of you nice, beautiful folks who tune into our program, welcome once again. We are a little late, but they say better late than never. Good evening to you, and welcome to our health and healing program that we have on a Thursday, which has been happening since 1996. It's a little shaky at the moment with the program because of the renovations that are occurring at the studio, and then we're going to have renovations here, and we're going to upgrade everything here pretty soon. The building is going to be redone totally, so we're going to have this building that we're in for sale and removal because of the construction that has to occur. So if anyone needs a building, they can speak with us, and that includes Dale and everyone else. If you need a building, we have a building that's for sale and removal. You could take it and build your house right on your land. So make contact with us if you're interested. Um, it is expecting to occur. It was sort of already started, but because of some delays we had with materials and so on, we told it it's going to happen. It's going to begin at the end of May, and the construction should last maybe 4 months or so before we can really utilize the building again. So we are also in the process of looking for a location to continue our works until this building is finished. So if anybody have a building that they want to donate temporarily for 4 months, then welcome, make contact with me, and I'll be happy to speak with you about that. But when we finish, it's going to be much better. It's going to be you have more services available and better conditions, and hopefully newer technology, whereby we could continue to make a contribution to extending and who knows, saving people's lives. So that's what's coming up. But as of now, um, today we are going to talk about what's happening to you and what's happening to those who you know around you. I can tell you that there's a virus threatening our society again, the Hatter virus. They always have these names that they come up with. Um, Interesting enough, um, it is something that resembles what occurred before Corona. And by the way, many of you, many of you seem to think that Corona has gone someplace. Corona didn't go anywhere. Corona remained there ever since it started, and it uh, continues to affect many persons who are not aware that they have the coronavirus and are spreading it to others. I'm not afraid to say it. Um, it is happening, and it's happening all the time. We've never stopped looking to see persons have it, and we've always found it. So I'm sorry to say that we are going from one virus into another if it happens to come in. I'm quite sure it's here already, but it's not realized as yet. So please, my friends, um, I think the safest thing to do is to enhance your immune system. Always enhance your immune system, because really that's all you have to do. And be cautious about your whereabouts. Be cautious about what you eat, where you eat, um, who may be having symptoms that resembles anything, and protect yourself, because you don't want to wait until it is on you before you take steps to protect yourself. Okay. Prevention is always better, and you don't want to wait for an announcement. If you know, I always say, I always make statements like if you see a tick on a dog, it's the tick that you saw, but doesn't mean that that's the only tick that's on the dog. Or it doesn't mean that the tick wasn't there on the dog before, but it's the one you saw, right? So don't wait until you start having symptoms before you protect yourself. If you begin to have any symptoms of any kind, it probably will have to run its course, and we don't know what that course will entail. So I am saying to you, if no one else is, guard yourself, build your immune system, protect yourself, because in the end, it's you who's going to be suffering. You know, seriously, you're the one that will be suffering. You're the one that will have to pay the doctor visits, and you're the one that's going to have to find the money to pay the doctor's visit if you're able to come overcome it. So I'm not announcing anything. I'm just saying to you, so guard yourself, guard your life, build your immune system because it's really the only defense you have. Okay. On my last program, I I wanted to mention some ideas about what you can do to overcome many issues, many problems. The persons who are hypertensive and diabetic, the persons who are diabetic and not hypertensive, the persons who are suffering with various ailments that some of them are underdiagnosed, some are misdiagnosed, and some are not diagnosed. And I'm seeing that all the time too. There's some people who are ill and don't even know that they're ill. So I mean, it's so much happening. There's so much going on that it's mind-boggling to know that we are in this age and this century, and we are in a state where we really don't understand what is happening. Many of us, see. So what I'm saying to you is this: become responsible, become more responsible for what is happening in your life. Be more responsible. Take charge of your life. Stop eating from rope to soap, as they say. You know, um, protect your immune system. Eat properly. Many of you are eating all sorts of things, from raw fish to food that smells like, I don't know, obnoxious. And you think it's okay. You think your body will process everything that you put down in there, and you won't have a problem. You know, it is so in today's world. It is so strange that many persons don't even cook anymore. Seriously, many persons only cook maybe when they run out of money, or when the funds get so low that they can't afford to buy rice. You know, um, we've become a society of fast foods. Many persons are just living off of fast foods, and I'm telling you, fast foods in our society and in many societies are the foundations for destructions. Fast foods. They're cooked in all sorts of oils and fats, and their the combinations are weird, not normal. You know, many persons eat out of turn. They eat and they go to sleep. you know, and they're not they're not allowing the food to digest and the food to assimilate or to be transported where it needs to be broken down as it should be broken down. Many persons are just out of sorts with their eating. That is the reason. That's one reason why we having so many persons that are obese, big, larger than they're supposed to be. They're eating out of turn. They're eating foods that are not combined properly. They're just eating like there's no tomorrow. And the more you eat, my friends, the more you can eat. The more you eat, the more you can eat. Some of you eat and you don't even chew before you swallow. You know, I sometimes I'm in company with others who you can't help it, but you pay attention to a lot of things. It's normal for you. And you see people eating and they're just swallowing. They're not even chewing properly. They chew two times and they swallow. As if the food is going someplace. Forgetting that the food has to be broken down in your stomach and then processed out into your small intestine. And you know, they seem to think that they can just swallow. You know, the crocodiles do and alligators and some some mammals. You know, some people eat as if it's the last meal that they're going to eat, so they have to eat everything or all or more. And then you wonder why you're having H. pylori and E. coli bacteria and gastroenteritis and everything else. You're wondering why these things are happening to you. It's happening to you because you're you're doing it to yourself. You're digging your graves with your teeth, and you're eating yourself into your graves. Many of you are doing that. You know, you started you begun to digest from the time you were conceived or born, and you never stop. You just continue eating, just eating until you can't eat no more and you're done. You know, and it's not only in Guyana; it's happening in many places. I just recently returned from Jamaica, and it's the same thing happening over there. Same thing in Florida, same thing. You know, in New York, same thing. People just eating as if there's no tomorrow. And when you get to the point where you become ill, then you tell yourself, you know, I really gotta go on a diet because I realize that I put on 200 pounds. I don't know how I get it. I was weighing before 120, now I'm weighing 220. I know I get 100 pounds. You know, imagine somebody saying that. I heard that out of my own ears. I don't know that. I don't know how I get this. When and I asked the question, did you realize your clothes can't fit you? Did you realize the shirts are getting too small or your pants getting too small to go on your waist? You know, I mean, you didn't realize that. How come you don't know that you're gaining weight? How is it that you? How is it that you, if you all of your faculties are in place, how is it that you don't know you're putting on weight? Even when you look in the mirror, you can see it. You know, so I don't know. Some of you don't realize that your structure is designed to carry a certain amount of weight. Your bones, your tissue and ligaments, and you know, you really are stressing out your system, your body system when you pile on these weights. You put on these weights, and you're telling yourself that you don't know how you got it, and then you get hypertension or high blood pressure, and then you become diabetic, and then you're wondering when did this happen? When did this happen? How come I'm diabetic and hypertensive? How come my pressure gone up? You know, it's you who did it to yourself, but you didn't realize it. You say you didn't realize it. Now you have a doctor's bill. Now you have to take drugs because your pressure is sky high and your blood sugar is sky high. Now you have to get a new set of clothes because the ones you have can't fit you anymore. You know, some of you can't even pass through the door that you have in front of your house. You could barely make it in. When you try to fly and go somewhere, you can barely fit in the seat. You know, and then when you sit in the seat, your whole body hangs over and you're infringing on other people's personal space that they have to sit there and endure a flight. You know, how is it that you don't realize these things are happening to you? I don't understand that. I don't get it. The more you eat, the more you can eat. That's how it is. The stomach will swell as big as you want it to. The more you can pile in there, the more it will take. It stretches. It's time you begin to realize that you have to be responsible for what's happening to you. 100%. Some of you don't realize that your knees, your ankles, they're paining and they're suffering, they're swelling because you keep piling the weight on yourself. You know, you think that your structure is designed to take 500 pounds or 400 pounds or 300 pounds when it only is designed to take 120. Everything is going to happen. It's going to collapse. You put on 250 pounds on a body or structure or frame that is designed to take 110 or 120 pounds. It's going to collapse eventually. You will have problems. You will have pains and discomfort and all sorts of ailments. Some of you need to learn to shut your mouth. Not to just shut your mouth when you're talking nonsense, but close your mouth with food and beverages and things that are causing you to become obese. And it's not happening only in adults, it's happening in children. The parents getting big and the children getting big. The parent putting on weight and the children putting on weight. It's not just the parent doing it alone, the children are doing it too. My friends, you need to step back. You know, you normally do selfies with the cameras and the phone now. Step back and do a selfie and take a look at it and honestly ask yourself the question: is this what I want to be? Is this how I want to be? Is this the size I want to have? Take a look and you'll see that you're destroying your life, you're destroying yourself. And you know what is happening today? The airlines are getting smarter. You know what they're doing? Hmm. Those of you who are of a certain weight and size, when you go to the counter, you have to pay more because now you can't just take one seat, you have to take two. Soon enough, they're going to start asking your weight when you're filling out your profile to purchase the ticket. I am certain soon enough they're going to have a bracket there for your body weight. Watch this, because they're planning that the plane can only take, if the aircraft has the capacity to take the weight of maybe 1 ton, let's just say 1 ton, 2,000 pounds. Let's just say 2,000 pounds. Now let's make it real. Um, let's make it reality. The plane has seats for 100 passengers. Let's just imagine that, right? The weight that the plane can take is each passenger to weigh 150 pounds, right? That means that that plane is designed to carry 100 passengers at an average of 150 pounds with baggage that weighs an average of two check-in bags or carrying about 50 pounds each, right? You can do the math. The plane is ready to take off, or the plane is ready to detach itself from the walkway. And they weigh those planes. They have to weigh it. And when they weigh the plane, they realize that the plane has 300 or 1,000 pounds more than it really should carry. They already know that the baggage weighs 50 pounds each. You know where they're going to start looking? At the passengers. Mhm. Because they know for a fact that the weight of the bags are 50 pounds each. They have to weigh, they weigh them before they go on board, right? But now the plane has 1,000 pounds more. So where do you think they're going to look? In the cabin, right in the cabin. So what they're going to be doing, I am certain, soon enough, they're going to have a bracket on the form that you fill out that asks for your body weight. And if you have a certain body weight, they're going to make you pay more. Your ticket price will change. Watch and see. Remember, I tell you that today. Okay? Oh, don't wait for that to happen, my friends. Take an inventory of yourself and make a decision that you got to revert to weight loss, changing your diet, changing how you eat, changing what you eat. Because not only is it going to cost you more, it's going to cost you more at the physical, at the pharmacy, at the doctor's office, because you're going to get sick. It's going to get sick. Some of you need to go on a fast. I told you that already. You really need to condition your brain to take you down the path of fasting. Even if you don't know to do it 100%, meaning that you don't eat anything all day, you need to go on some modified fast that can allow you to eat maybe 1 meal a day, and then you cut it down to half, and then you cut it down to gradually do it. You're going to find that if you do that to yourself, that your stomach, number one, is going to shrink. It's going to come back down, and it's only going to be able to accept the little food you're putting inside because it will shrink. Naturally shrink. Secondly, the body will turn on itself and utilize the nutrients it needs from all that food you got stored up in here that you didn't get rid of. It's going to turn on itself and utilize that food that you have stored. And thirdly, so you're not going to starve, you're going to lose weight. You're naturally going to lose weight. You want your pressure to go down, you want your sugar to go down or go away, go on a fast. And if you need guidance, I can guide you. Seriously. Because I don't want you to be sick. I really don't want you to be sick. Sickness is not normal. I got friends right now who are sick. And they're in pain and they're having a hell of a time dealing with life as it is, with the pain and sickness right now. So I don't want you to be sick because it's a very sad situation when you're sick to have to deal with pain and agony and everything else about it. I'm also noticing, my friends, that in the society that we live in, cancer doesn't have any respect for age anymore. No, there's no such thing. Cancer is afflicting the little ones, even the little ones in our society, even the little ones. Herpes virus, even the little ones. STIs, the young ones. Young ones. Everything has gone haywire in our society. Everything. And I don't know if if persons are realizing it or not, but it's very difficult now in this country, in Guyana, to be able to make a decision to date someone that you feel is clean. Very difficult. When we screen, 8 out of 10 problems. 8 out of 10. And they don't know. That's the sad part. That's the scary part. They don't really know. And they're going out there and they're having a ball and passing on everything. And then the others who get it don't know. So it's very difficult, my friends, to do that kind of business in Guyana now. You gotta be very careful. You better know what you're doing. Because anybody could be a victim. Anyone. Because you don't know who the person is that could cause you to become a victim. You don't know what they contain, what they have. I'm not trying to scare you, but it's very, very, very. The sad thing is that you go to get yourself checked, and it's not detected. When you come here and be detected, you're all alarmed. How come I went to the lab and they find nothing? How come this? How come that? How come I just come from the doctor and find nothing? No, we don't put them in the system. This system is designed to detect anything that is happening with you. Anything. So you think you can hide from it? You think again. Think again, my friends. Can't hide from it. Even if you're community, I mean, nothing around there, we will find it. And we'll find more. We find that and more. Yes, it happens every single day. And it's a very sad thing because you really don't know what you're going to get when you sit behind this desk. We say expect the unexpected all the time and plan for it. You think sickness is here alone? Sickness is everywhere. You think disease is here alone? Disease is everywhere. You think corona is here alone? It's everywhere. Every- Everywhere. I just don't work in here. I work in different places. See it all the time. Many times I'm amazed at what I see because I'm surprised what I see. But I've learned to expect the unexpected. Over the years, I've learned that. Some of you, your cholesterol is sky high, and you take the medication from the doctor, and you think it's going to fix it. You think the medication is going to fix your blood pressure and your diabetes. You think it's going to fix it. If you don't change what you're doing to get those things high, it ain't going to fix nothing. Trust me, it's going to be there when you're done. You're going to take medication for the rest of your life, and if you keep eating and drinking what you're doing that's got you there, you're going to die with the medication. Reality. Until you correct what you're doing that got you sick, you're going to get well. Period. Bottom line. You can't expect to go forward and then go backward at the same time. It doesn't happen. If you want to go backward, you got to stop going forward and go backward. You want to go forward, you got to stop going backward and go forward. You can't do the two at the same time. You cannot continue to eat junk food and expect to be healthy. It doesn't work. You can't expect to eat foods that will give you parasites and expect that you won't have it. Doesn't work. You can't keep eating and drinking what you eat and drink to give you your high blood pressure and your high blood sugar and expect it to normalize. Yes, the medicine might help you to indicate that the numbers are normal, but my friends, in your body, it's not. It's not, and that is where many of your food. Because you have to change what is causing you to be sick, to get well. You have to change what is causing your pressure to be high to have it to become normal. Same with the blood sugar. Same with the cholesterol. You can't see smoke happening all the time and don't think fire is somewhere down there. Where there's smoke, there's some fire. You cannot continue to eat foods that are laden with chemicals and expect to be healthy. It doesn't work. Grow your own foods. I keep saying that. Find a way to grow your own vegetables because the farmer is looking to earn and he's looking to earn as fast as he can. So what are they going to do? They're going to make the produce faster than normal. They will use what is needed to be used to make it happen. And much of the time, it's chemicals, my friends. And you can't wash it out. Don't you believe that you could soak it and wash it out? It don't happen. You're going to buy callaloo, you're going to buy lettuce on the marketplace that is used, that has been fed chemicals to get them into the marketplace. And you're going to go home and soak it and wash it with all sorts of things and expect it's going to come out. And no, it's inside. It's in its DNA. You can't get it out. You're going to eat it. When you cook it, you might even smell it. I wish I had the yard space that some of you have. Seriously. When you come to my house, you'll be coming to a garden. Because even though I'm so busy, I will take time out to plant my own vegetables, to plant my own fruits. I would make the time. You need to take time and do it yourself. Make the farmers comply. You cannot get them to comply if you don't grow anything. They're going to continue doing what they're doing to get it to you. They're going to continue using the chemicals to get it to you in the marketplace. Until you individually grow your own or collectively grow your own foods, plant your own vegetables, use the right kind of manure that is not chemically laden. I showed you guys sometimes some of the callaloo that I planted in my yard and I ain't got no soil at the bottom. Plant them in pots. And I know I took the callaloo, picked it, and put it down just to see what happened. I picked the callaloo and put them down on the countertop. I rested them in a basin and put them in the countertop. And one day passed, the callaloo looked like I just picked it. 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 7 days. The callaloo looked like I just picked it. No chemicals were used, none. And I cooked it, and I ate it, and I enjoyed it. Because I knew there were no chemicals in there. Many of you, you buy a callaloo tomorrow, and you put it down, or you buy it tonight. You go to the market and you buy it tonight, and you put it down to use it tomorrow. When you go there tomorrow, it's watery, lay down, sleep like it's tired. Chemicals. And then you're going to wash it, and you're going to cook it, and you're going to eat it. And every chemical in there that was used to grow it, you're going to eat it. When we screen you, we will find mycotoxins, DX7R, even DDT. Yes, we see all of that. We see everything that's in you when we screen you. Someone asked me 2 days ago, yesterday or 2 days ago, Doc, you sure this is not invasive? It's not invasive. You sure it's not invasive? How come you can tell me this and how come you can tell me that? Well, it's designed to do that. I can't see anything. I'm just seeing what is in you. I can't see your body parts. I see images of your body parts and what is happening to it. I don't see your physical body part. Non-invasive. But I can tell you what's happening to that body part because we have a perfect image of a male and female. Perfect image. Nothing wrong with them. So when we screen you, you're actually going up against a perfect specimen. And what we see is all of your imperfections. If a tick bites you, if a flea bites you, if a worm is there, you find it. If you got a ringworm under your scalp, we'll know it. Most of you who are wearing those false hair on your head, I call them false hair because that's what they are. They're not real. Maybe they're real from some animal or from some lab. But I want you to know that whatever is in that hair, when you put it in your head, you absorb it into your scalp. It goes into your pores. Yes, all the chemicals that came with it gets into your body. And those of you who like to dye your hair, make sure you're dyeing with something natural because when you use the chemicals, guess what? It goes right into your scalp, into your bloodstream. Goes in there. Your pores are not only open to come out, to go one way out. The pores don't only open to let one way out. In and out. Yes. You put them in your scalp. Once you perspire, guess what? All the chemicals from that falls here and go down your brain, down into your head. We see everything. You can grow your hair back, my friends. You can grow your hair back. A friend of mine just cut her hair the other day. I asked her, what did you do with this hair? All this hair you have that you cut off. What did you do with it? She said, put it in the bin. I said, go take it to the bin. Those people will pay for that. That's real hair you cut off. She put her hair in the bin. This is plenty hair I tell you about. She had plenty hair in her head. She cut the hair, put it in the bin. The garbage man might take it out and sell it and get money for it if he could collect all of it. People are paying a lot of money for real hair because real hair don't have those chemicals in them. They don't. If you know anybody who cut in the hair, ask them for the hair. If you got hair in your hand, and make your piece out of it. Find a way to make it happen. But all of you with those falls here in your head, all the chemicals into your brain, into your scalp, into your bloodstream, into your body, all of it. You know. So I'm telling you, before you do things to hurt yourself, before you put that spoon of food in your mouth, think: is it going to help me or is it going to hurt me? Think, think. Before you put on a wig, before you weave that hair into your head, ask the question: is it going to help me or is it going to hurt me? It is better to walk with a bald head than to put a wig on your hair. Some of you are too lazy, you don't want to do your hair. Doc, I put on this thing because it's so easy to put on and take off. Yeah, I know. But you're sweating your head. It's gotta, I don't know if I could put one of them things on my head. It's gotta be perspiring up there. Gotta be. And when you perspire, the chemicals from your body interact with the chemicals from that, and guess what? In your system. And I'm trying to tell you what not to do. Some of you wearing false nails. I pick it on you. But you think These false nails just go on there and you could just you put them on and they stay there. You got to use something to make it stay on your fingernail. You think that chemical that you're putting on your fingernail is not going to be absorbed into your bloodstream? Think again. Think again. And some of you look like eagles with your nails. You look like birds. You look like I don't know. You look like something out of a scary movie. Some of you. And you walk around with those things and you feel proud that you have these things on your hands. What about what God gave you? What happened to it? You can't grow it? If it's not growing, it means you got a problem. I gotta cut my nails every week. Every week I gotta cut my nails. False one. Grow your own nails. If your hair is not growing, find out why it's not growing and fix it. It can be fixed, it can be corrected. Something is here under your scalp. We can find out what that is and help you to correct it and grow your own hair again. It might take a little time, but it will grow. Some of you, when it comes to nutrition, you're eating all of this, whatever you're eating, and still you're malnourished. And we see all of that here too. Some of you are obese, big in size, and malnourished. You're still anemic. Anemia. You don't have balance in your nutrients. You have but yet still you oversize. You need to think. Why is it that I have to eat so much? Why? What makes me eat all of this food? Is it stress? Is it just glutton? Is it just that I don't care? People come to me and say, Doc, it's stress that make me do this and make me do that. I ask them to show me stress. I still say it. Show me stress. Stress is not physical. Stress will give you reasons to do things. Stress can't make you do anything. You have to do it yourself. When I ask people sometimes, why are you eating so much? Doc, I stress. My husband give me so much stress. My children give me so much stress. My boss give me so much stress. Listen, listen. If your boss is giving you so much stress, then you find out from your boss what is it that you're doing that causing them to behave the way they are with you. And if they can't give you a reason, then the boss has a problem. The boss may have a problem that has him or her behaving this way to you. It might not even be you. It might be our children or vehicle or something. But she's coming to the job or to the business and she's transmitting. Fully charged battery, fully charged. She's transmitting her factors, her stress factors over to you. And you're thinking that it's you. It may have nothing to do with you. It could very well be that the boss has problems with her children, with her husband, with her car, with her own business. And the boss needs help. So the boss is crying out to you in an angry way, and you think it's you. My friend, it happens. I see it happening. I think I used to be like that sometimes many years ago, but when I realized a lot of things, I changed my way of doing things many decades ago. I can tell you a little story one day. This happened to me one day. I probably talked about this before. One day I was driving through the mountains of Alabama. early morning, like 5:30 in the morning, going to my business. But I was going from Georgia to Alabama. Business was in Alabama. I go down there on Monday morning, and I come back on Friday night, most times. And I'm going down early that morning, and I'm driving maybe about 3 miles over the speed limit. Sometimes you come down the hill and your car goes fast, and you really don't pay attention because you know you're within the limit, right? And the next thing you know, police car behind you with his lights on. This is no joke. This is a real story here. I experienced that. So first thing you do, you pull over, right? I pulled over because I didn't think he was doing it for me. I thought he was just trying to. I thought he was behaving like Guyanese policemen do. They put on this lights and they don't even have no reason to put it on. When the police put on a light behind you in America, especially, you better pull over. Right? Right behind me, and he came out of his car. He says, "See your driver's license and insurance." So I said, "Of course, sir." I took out my license and got my insurance of the car. And I presented it to him. He looked at it, looked at my license. He said to me, "You realize why I pulled you over?" I said, "I'm not sure. I'm not really sure because I know I was driving at the speed limit, but I was coming down here. Maybe I was going a little faster than normal." He said, "Yeah, that's why I pulled you over. You were going faster than the speed limit." So I tried to be nice. I said, "Well, sir, I'm very sorry that I was going a little faster than normal, but I just thought that, I'm within the limits." No, when you see 45 miles an hour, it's 45 miles an hour. He says, "Okay, come with me, please." So I went with him and he sat me in his car. And that was back in the days. I don't think they do it anymore. I sat in his car and he pulled out this thing to write his ticket. And he said to me, he said, "Let me tell you something. This morning, this morning I woke up to come to work. My wife lay down in her bed and wouldn't get up and make me a cup of tea. You believe that she couldn't get up and make me a cup of coffee?" I said, "Well, that's very sad because if you're the breadwinner in the house." So what's breadwinner? I says, "If you're the man who provides the income that takes care of her, at least she can get up and make a cup of coffee for you and see you off and so before she goes back to bed because she isn't really working." He says, "Dad, that's right. That's what's supposed to happen." I said, "But she didn't even get up this morning and offer to make my coffee." I said, "Well, that's really bad. That's not really good." He said, "Listen, some women don't really get it. They don't get it. I am providing for her, and she can't even get up on me." This guy was angry, right? You see, I know what I'm getting at there. This guy actually pulled me over going 3 miles an hour more because he was angry before he left his house. You see? He told me, he says, "On the normal circumstances, I wouldn't pull nobody over going 3 miles an hour with speed limit. But I don't know why I pulled you over. But I had to let you know why I pulled you over." He just took off. In the end, he said, "Listen, man, I appreciate you listening to me, all right? Just slow down, just get safe where you're going. Take care of yourself. Careful." I said, "Man, I just hope that your wife can understand that when you get up early in the morning, that she can at least help you to get out of the house feeling good, feeling happy, feeling because you're doing a job that who knows, anything can happen." He says, "You're damn right. Anything that happened to me as a policeman, I could even lose my life and not even go back home." The guy was angry, not at me for speeding, but he pulled me over because he wanted to vent his frustration. You see? So sometimes people are angry not at you, but they're angry about some situation that they encountered before they got to you. You were just the first soul that they met after they came out of the angry state. But he didn't give me any ticket. You know, we parted very nicely and made him laugh a few times and so, and I that was it. That was it. That's years ago, my friends. Years ago. So the reason why I mentioned that story is because I don't forget it. Because I realized something since then that people sometimes react in a manner in which it makes you feel that they're angry with you or that you did something wrong. Where in essence, it is something that happened in their lives that they're looking to vent. They're looking for a place to get it out because they're angry. So don't tell me that your children made you angry and you go and eat all this food. No, if your children made you angry, resolve the situation that caused them to get you angry with your children. This is your children. Like I told him, I said, when you go back home, let your wife know how angry you were because she didn't make the coffee for you. And let her know that you'd appreciate if she can get up and make the coffee for you or, see you off and so before you go because of the work you do, the job you have, and there might be the last time she see you. I said, you just sit and talk with her and let her know these things, and hopefully it will resonate with her, and she will be happy to do things for you before you leave. He said, man, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. This was not a Negro guy. This is a Caucasian policeman in the South. A Caucasian, if you don't know what Caucasian means, a white policeman in the South. This was in the South. This is Georgia, Alabama, South. You see, and I was, I'm near this African, this Negro guy, this brown skin Negro guy, talking to this white man. You know. But he was very happy for me to talk with him, and he understood, and appreciated me calming him down. And so, if there was a coffee shop nearby, I would have gone and bought him a cup of coffee. Because he really was angry. So some people become angry at things that affect them in circumstances that they encounter in their own places, like at the home, in the city, at his house, the boss's house. It could be the children at her house, or her husband, or her wife, or something. But don't make those situations cause you to vent with an innocent person. I mean, it's sometimes it's good to do it. You get good advice, but it might be, who knows, man, somebody that is not as calm or can relate to your situations. You know. On the other hand, now, if I had reacted to this guy when he came and put me in his patrol car, if I had responded to this man, that's your business. I don't care about that. You pull me over and you just do what you gotta do, and let me go on my way. Them man would write me a ticket and probably write me one with all kind of things on it, and it would have affected me and my license and everything. So I'm saying this to say to some of you ignorers out there that when people come to you and they're venting angrily, be calm. Try to be calm. Count from 1 to 20 and calm down and just think and respond to them sensibly. And they'll be nice to you. Quite because they're humans. They're humans, just like you. Unless you get in contact with a robot. The robot ain't gonna understand your English unless they train them. We don't know who's a robot in the society anymore. We don't know. I think some people behave like robots and they might be robots. I think we are living in a society where there might be robots or aliens or something. But you've got to be responsible for yourself, my friends. You've got to take responsibility, and you cannot depend on the doctor to do it for you. You shouldn't. If you know that when you go to work, you got people coughing all around you, put on a mask or ask them to put on a mask. I'm telling you because it could be bronchitis, it could be streptococcus pneumonia, it could be tuberculosis, it could be a number of things. It could be. And you don't know the state of your immune system because you're not enhancing it. So guess what's going to happen? Whatever they cough, you're going to get it. That's how it goes. You can tell anybody I say so. I don't care who it is. I've seen enough of it. And I've encountered enough that innocent people are positioned in places where they're exposed to people who have conditions. and they become victims of those conditions because they are not protected. They don't have a mask. Mask is not going to stop everything, but it will stop a lot of things. It's going to stop a lot of things. There's hardly anyone who speaks to you face to face that doesn't spit. Yeah, some of you probably say, ew, it's true. Hardly anyone who talks to you that doesn't spit. You don't see it, vapor comes out. It's liquid and oxygen. Vapor comes out. And sometimes you sit in a position where the vapor gets to you. If the vapor gets to you, chances are whatever comes out of them is going to get into you. That's how it is. It's reality. And you don't know what it is. It could be a herpes virus, it could be some bacteria, it could be something. So my suggestion to you, when you're sitting with someone, politely, don't sit across them. Sit on the side of them. There's some little advice can help you. So if they cough, at least you can go past you. If they sneeze, hopefully you pull yourself back and let it go where it needs to go. And find your mask. Walk with a mask. Always walk with one. And if you put on a mask in front of them, you tell them, look, you know what? I want to protect you from me. It's just I want to make sure that whatever I have, you don't get. Do that. They don't understand. You see, because you don't know what you're exposing yourself to. You really don't know. I'm just giving you some advice that hopefully will change how you think about things. I don't want you to be sick. And we can't tell everyone. Some people come here and they expect a miracle overnight. The miracles are happening, yes. And I'm praying for miracles to come into my path so I could pass them on to you. You know? Like I wish I could get the powers to just touch people and heal them. I'm praying for that. Like Jesus walked and touched people's eyes and made them see again. I wish I can get a little bit of that. I would love to get a little bit of that because there's some people who are sick that I wish I can just touch them and help them to get healed, like little children, innocent children. Innocent children are born sick in today's world because of the recklessness of parents, because of the ills of society. Innocent children brought into the world with problems that they have to endure the rest of their lives. And there's so many psychologically impaired parents today. They're mentally not ready for children. Seriously. There are many persons who are becoming parents today who are not fit to be parents. They don't have the foundation, the background that they needed to make them parents. Not yet. Hasn't been developed. I was reading just the other day where a 14-year-old child, well, some time ago was a 12-year-old, a 14-year-old child was molested by someone and got pregnant and delivered a child at 15. I would make him marry that child. If I had the I would make the laws, change the laws, and if you molest or if you rape or if you are caught with a child that's underage, I'd make you have to marry them. Yeah, change the laws. You molest a child and the child bore a child, you will become the husband of that child. Yeah, that's what I would do. Because you're not right doing that. There's too many other women everywhere that willing, willing and able, and will probably get pregnant too. That are that are over 14 years old and 13 and 12. What's wrong with you guys, man? What's wrong with y'all? Stop molesting the babies. Give them a chance to grow. Let them make their own mistakes. Be an influencer to them. Be someone who can guide them and counsel them properly and help them to stay away from people who are sick in their minds. And the problem today in our society, not only this one, is that children today are growing up so fast. They're growing up so fast. They're maturing so fast because of what? The chemicals in the foods, the hormones, the steroids. There's so much hormones and steroids in foods today that when you eat it, it continues to work in you. And the 10-year-old looking like 15, the 12-year-old looking like 16 and 17 and 18. So you think that they're older because they look that way. Some of your parents are feeding them the foods that making them look like you, big like you, old like you, mature like you. The children are maturing faster because of the foods that are put into the society that they're eating and consuming and taking home, living on. Big one is chicken. Quite sure there are other food, other meats too, other vegetables. But the big one is chicken. Mhm. So, my friends, it's almost time for me to come off the air, but I want to leave you with a few words of advice. Number one, be responsible for your own life. Be responsible for your own life. In other words, don't let somebody else to tell you that you're too fat. Look at yourself in the mirror, and you will know that you're too fat. Whatever you're doing to get that way, reverse it. Stop doing that and do something else, or seek some advice from someone who can guide you the right way so that you wouldn't put them on the weight. Number one. Number two, I don't care if you have a house with concrete on the ground. Find pots, find tires, find boxes, put soil inside, grow your own food. Because the farmer out there isn't concerned about the chemicals you feed him on. Grow your own foods. Cook your own foods. Stop depending on the restaurant to provide your meals. Cook your own foods. You got children? You got children? Well, somebody just sent me a text says if a man molests a woman and he gets her pregnant, he should marry her. No way. Why would I want to live with him? We have no respect for he has no respect for me, not my body. Well, that makes sense too, but I would make sure that he understands that he needs to be responsible for that woman and that child until he dies. He needs to be responsible for his mistake he made and he needs to pay for it. If the law says 16 or 18 and you do that 14, then you need to pay and you need to be responsible. Abortion is not the right way, but you're going to have to take care of that child. Make sure you provide all the diaper, all the food, everything until the child becomes 18 years old. It needs to happen. You see? If you can't marry her, then you're going to be responsible for her and the child. The woman says she cut off his penis. All of that, I would suggest change the laws. To stop it, you got to be drastic. I agree with that. You're not using the penis the right way. Exercise it. You must never rape again. Anyway, the time is up, I know. And my operator is probably saying, Doc, when are you going to stop, right? We're going to continue this in the next program. But I want to thank you for listening and participating. I hope I didn't offend anyone. The program is not intended to offend anyone. It's not. I want you to do the right thing, to be wise, to be sensible, to be smart, to be responsible for your body system. Take care of yourself. Okay? Until we meet again, my friends, until we can connect, until we can communicate with each other again, I want to wish you a very good weekend. I want to wish you a very good evening. And I want to wish you a very good body full of health, vigor, and vitality. Until we meet again, Dr. Haynes saying good night. God bless you, and may He continue to keep you strong. Until we meet again. Good night.